All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Modern Day Brokerage podcast brought to you by MDB. We're super excited about this one today because this is something that Alan and myself, we talk to brokerage owners every single day, team leaders, and we're hearing a lot of things on, what their biggest struggles are and everything. And Alan has a lot of insight. Actually, for anyone who's new to the group, you want to share a little bit more about your story and starting your brokerage?
Yeah, I guess a 30-second version of it, not a 30-minute version of it. So I've been in business ownership for about 20 years, got my license back in 2013 as a real estate agent. The first 6-7 months were really difficult. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it as a brand new real estate agent. Made thousands and thousands of cold calls, focused primarily on the listing. In the last 11 and a half years, I personally sold over 500 homes. Started a brokerage back in 2020. Before that, I had a team for about 4 years with 15 agents. We did over 200 transactions a year. Started a brokerage in 2020 during pandemic with a handful of agents. That was a rough year, 2020, but we figured things out, started bringing in agents consistently month over month. We hired over 300 agents in the last 4 years. Not all of them stuck around, but that's the nature of the beast that we deal with when it comes to the brokerage world. Along the way, launched a mortgage company, a title company, a property management company that specializes in short-term rentals, as well as the investment company, residential as well as commercial properties. So, and then about a year ago, Tristan and I, we decided to launch Modern Day Brokerage, where we right now work with about 111, 112 clients. Most of them are brokerage owners, different phases of their business. Have some that have like just starting as a brokerage owner, maybe a handful of agents. Some have 50 agents, 100 agents, as big as or as many as 700 agents, multiple office locations. Super fortunate to work with them and contribute to their growth and their success. And that was about 36 seconds, I think, or 37 seconds, something along those lines.
Yeah. So, as you guys know, Alan, one of the neat things that I love about, what we're doing is we're not only showing you guys, what we think is working. Alan runs a brokerage himself. He's hired 300 agents. And he's able to share what is working right now and the different systems and stuff he's tried in the past. So, but yeah, kind of to bounce off of that, today's topic is the biggest mistake brokerage owners make and how to fix it. So, we can start from the top. I know this is probably a much deeper thing, but like, what is the first thing you think when it comes to these brokerage owners, the biggest mistake they're making at first as a brokerage owner, maybe from you going from 0 to 50, 0 to even 100 agents?
Man, there's just so many. I wouldn't call them mistakes. Maybe limiting beliefs or self-doubt, right? I think a lot of it is right here, to be honest with you, if you think about it. Like I posted a couple of days ago, I think on Facebook, I said 99% of our problems are right here. Yeah. It's not really the reality. We make it a reality with our thought process and the way we think about things. But in reality, if you think about it, like only like 1% of it is really a problem. So I think when it comes to the brokerage world in general, I had actually a conversation this morning with a brand new brokerage owner, right? And he started by sharing with me his vision. And his vision is like, hey, I just want to have a boutique brokerage. I want to have a handful of agents, and these agents are specialized only working with the sellers and the listings and yada, yada, all of this stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, all of these things are fine and dandy, but what happens, first and foremost, you're a brand new brokerage. How would you be able to attract, producing agents that only specialize working with the sellers or listings, right? It's like, well, I don't know. It's like, okay, what is your offer to them? It's like, well, I don't really have an offer yet. Right? How are you going to be able to retain them or keep them? Let's say, they're a part of your brokerage. It's got to be much more than just the splits. So I think first and foremost, as a brokerage owners, and Most of us, I think we're getting into this business because we like to help people, i.e. agents, but we also get into the business because we want to have that control of our own destiny, and we want to have a control of our own business. And ultimately, brokerage business is a business. And in order for make it a business, there are three key ingredients. Number one, you got to have people in that business. And I see this quite a bit with a lot of brokerage owners, is the fact that they just do not have enough agents, and they do not have the staff, right? The average brokerage out there, I would say even beyond the average, like over 80% of the brokerage owners out there, and there are like over 100,000 of them, right, out there, have 7 or less agents. 7 or less agents, right? So what does that tell us? Right? It means that most of the brokerage owners, like, they are wearing multiple hats. Most likely, most of them are still in production. They have to produce, obviously, to take care of their personal expenses, but also, I'm sure, covering the expenses of their company, of their brokerage. Yeah. They're probably still doing admin work. They're most likely in charge of compliance, right? And then they'll do some recruiting on the side, if time permits. Yeah. But then when it comes to the recruiting, they don't know where to start. They don't know how to do it consistently. They don't know really how to attract agents on a consistent basis. Some of them have a hard time in developing those agents or training those agents, right? But the first things first is, like, I just don't think that brokerage owners have a way of attracting agents into their organization, into their brokerage, right? A consistent way of recruiting agents into their brokerage. And because of that, what typically happens is the company is not growing, the current agents are not producing enough, right? And especially in the last year and a half or so, 2 years has been super, super rough. Those agents that used to do like 15, 20 transactions right now barely closing 8, 9, 10 transactions, right? So because of that, they are more in the weeds. They're trying to produce more, try to close more deals by themselves, and they're not really looking at building the company through people, through systems, and then ultimately capital.
Definitely. So, I mean, how long did it take you to figure that out? I mean, was this something that you kind of went into the brokerage figuring out, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I'm still, honestly, like, if you think about it, there are days when I still feel like I'm not fully maximizing what we have and what we offer as a brokerage. It probably took me about 4 years, 5 years to kind of figure this out. Even when I started a real estate team initially, my mindset was like, I'm just going to have a small team, and this team is going to produce. They're going to be closing on average, 20 to 30 transactions each, right? And we're all going to live a happy life as a family, and everything's going to be great. Well, the reality set in pretty quickly when some of these agents started leaving me. Yeah. Right. And not because they didn't really kind of like enjoyed working with me. It's just they outgrew the team and they just wanted to kind of do their own thing. They want to build their own teams. And by the way, that's the reality also in the brokerage world, right? I mean, the agent's going to come, right? They're going to work with you. They're going to pay you money. They will grow with you. And then eventually they will leave. Yeah. It's not if, it's definitely when it's going to happen. So I realized that really kind of putting all my eggs into like 4, 5, 6, 7 agents, and let's say half of them leave in a very short period of time, was very, very risky. Yeah. Right. And the same thing with the brokerage. When I started the brokerage with a handful of agents, I said, and that was during COVID, and some of these agents started leaving me in the first couple of months of COVID. I was like, in order for me to do this, and in order for me to have a shot of even surviving in this business, I have to be like consistently bringing more agents, right? And that was that. I was like, I don't care what happens now going forward. Like, I'm focusing on my personal production. to cover the bills. And then the rest of the time that I'm using, I am very intentional, super intentional when it comes to like recruiting agents. And that's something that we have done since like for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want to make sure we're consistently recruiting agents as the brokerage.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, I mean, talking about recruiting and everything, as far as like the time management too, actually, I want to dive into that a little bit. You just said something that most brokerages are, they're in that situation right now. How would you, what recommendations would you have for anyone who's in the position where they need to be paying the bills, they need to be in production, but they need to keep the time for recruiting? Did you systemize that a specific way or prioritize it somehow?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. It's hard, but it's not impossible, right? So like when I started my brokerage, I was in production, very heavy into the production. Like, like 60 to 70% of my time was used on working with the sellers, primarily with the sellers, right? And I had to do that. I had no choice, right? But the rest of the time I would dedicate in talking to the agents, meeting with agents, and presenting what we offer as a brokerage to these agents. The first things first is like you have to like make a commitment. And I know it's kind of cliche-ish to say that, but in reality, like it's like half the battle when you actually like seriously commit to this. Like when we're having conversations, breakthrough conversations with the prospects, right, who are interested with our program. The first thing that we look for is like, hey, are you willing to commit to this? Because if you're not committing to this and you're kind of doing this willy-nilly, the odds of you succeeding is not going to be that high.
Yeah.
Right. So first and foremost, and whether you're a brokerage owner, you're a team leader, you're an agent, you got to commit. Mm-hmm. Right. The second thing is you're going to go through a lot of turbulence. You're going to go through a lot of days and weeks when things are just not going to work according to the plan. Right. And that's where you have to have the courage to overcome some of these adversities that you're going to be facing. For instance, you're talking to the agents, you're scheduling a meeting, and that agent is a no-show, or that agent cancels on you, or that agent meets with you and says, you know what, I like everything that you said, but you know what, I'm not ready to make a decision right now. Let's continue our conversation. Call me 2 months from now, 3 months from now. You're going to bring agents that you're going to pour all your time and effort into in trying to get that agent going, and that agent just doesn't get it. And you feel like you're wasting your time and you're spinning your wheels. You're going to have agents that you actually help to grow their business, like literally going from, let's say, 5 transactions to 20 transactions to 30 transactions, 40 transactions. And then those agents leave you, right? You're going to have individuals, your staff, your admin, right, that will come, that you're going to spend so much time with working and training them and getting them up and running. And then they will disappoint you, right? Or they will do something behind your back, or they will leave you and talk trash behind your back. All of those things are going to happen. That's the courage piece. That's the time where we have to continue to push through as entrepreneurs, as business owners, versus kind of like retreating, right? And going into our comfort zone. And what is our comfort zone? Our comfort zone is like, okay, I can just sell on my own. I don't need these headaches. I don't want to be dealing with a bunch of agents running around like chickens without a head. Yeah. I don't want to be dealing with a bunch of staff that is not showing up on time, right? And I'm just going to go sell real estate, which is fine. And I'm not sitting here and saying don't sell real estate. I love real estate sales. I enjoy that. But for me, real estate sales personally is owning a job. And I want to own a company, because I do not see myself doing this when I'm 60, 65, 70 years old. Yeah. Right? So ultimately, that's something that you have to decide. Do you want to continue selling real estate for the rest of your life? And again, I'm not judging. This is a judgment-free zone. Okay. Or do you actually want to build a company where you have the agents and you have the staff, right? And you're not like in the weeds 50, 60 hours a week. Yeah. Like, for example, right now, I probably spend about 10 hours, no more than 15 hours a week in a real estate brokerage. Yeah. Right. I have the staff. I got the right people. I got I got the right agents, but it didn't start that way. Like everything that I just shared with you in the last couple of minutes with agents and staff, I went through all of those things. All of those, right? Disappointments, discouragement, feeling anxious, trying to fix problems, but in reality, they're not being fixed because it's not really you, it's someone else. Like all of these things are just part of the cycle of being a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And in business and in life, like we talk about this constantly, we all experience seasons, right? And in business, you're going to experience winters. But as long as you don't give up, and as long as you like pushing through this adversity and unknowns and all that negativity and all of that stuff that you're kind of like thinking about as problems, as long as you're kind of overcoming those, there's the spring and there's the summer around the corner.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's one of the most powerful things, even with like our mastermind community and all the brokerage owners in there, is, you know, you can kind of, everyone's had their form of winter. You know, they can help get you out of that season maybe a little bit quicker. I mean, with your knowledge too, you know, being able to fast track that process when it comes to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest winter of, is again, not having agents and not having the agents that are producing. In a brokerage world, that's our North Star.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I think recruiting agents solves like 90+% of the problems. Like we talk about this constantly, like more agents, more transactions, more revenue you have, more options now you have.
Mhm.
More options in terms of, hiring better people to manage your agents, providing better tools and resources to your agents, investing in income producing assets, ancillary businesses, like all of that comes into play when you have agents that are producing and you're generating revenue.
Mhm.
So the last year, 2023, was a tough year. Like I said this, I've been saying this for quite some time for all of us, by the way. But if you look at number of transactions that we had last year in comparison to 2022, they were up. And the only reason they were up, not because our agents were closing more deals, is because we had more agents in 2023 than we had in 2022.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the secret. Right?
Yeah.
So to overcome the situation that we're right now, even dealing with NAR, right? There are agents out there still in a meltdown mode. Like I see this every single day.
Well,
Like
speaking of, I mean, maybe for any brokerage owners who are watching this,
lived under the rock for the last 10 days, 11 days, 12 days.
Well, if you guys want a quick pointer, Alan, you want to kind of touch base on our event that's where we're hosting this Friday, for anyone who's trying to get in front of more agents or trying to be that resource for them.
Yeah.
You want to kind of expand on that really quick?
Well, we decided to roll out a buyer representation class, and it's also a CE class, continuing education class. And we did this like literally a day after the NAR settlement, right?
Yep.
We had over 100 people that RSVP'd. I mean, we maxed out. Like we don't have any room available. We tried to change the venue, and the venue is not, the instructor is not available. The venue is available, but the instructor was not available. So we're gonna open this up to all of the audience who wants to have access to it virtually, right, via Zoom. So if you guys feel like this is something that's going to help you, your agents, just comment virtual on the bottom, and we'll send you the link to it. Yeah. Right. But like it's a 3-hour class on buyer representation, negotiations, buyer broker agreements, getting those signed, everything that now agents have to know and do better of. Yeah, it's not something that wasn't done before. I mean, there are agents in our brokerage that required buyer broker agreements signed constantly. Yeah. Right. But most did not. So now they have to be able to get really good at it and present that value, right? And then get those buyer broker agreements signed, as well as then make sure that they get paid commissions for their services through seller concessions.
Definitely. Yeah. And like one of the 3 pillars that Alan, really pushes is the events. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. If you are looking for ways to get in front of more agents and provide that value, now is probably one of the most perfect times to be that resource to them. That's why Alan immediately, once he heard this news, he set up the buyer presentation training, and we had, I think it was like 50 or 60 RSVPs within a couple of days.
Yeah, by the way, that's something that you guys can do exactly the same thing.
Exactly.
I'm assuming most of you are doing this already. Like, one of the best ways of attracting talent, recruiting talent, is leading with value. And what I mean by that is, create a class or a workshop or a mastermind that will really like teach those agents or help them learn on something that they maybe were not familiar with before, or something they want to really get good at. And invite those agents, invite your agents, invite agents outside of your brokerage. There's no such thing as sharing too much. There's no such thing as like sharing secrets of the brokerage. Be open, open that curtain, let those agents in, right? And have a conversation with them. Build a rapport, make connections. You will have agents from these events that feel so appreciative of what you are doing, right? And the fact that you are teaching them something, that the law of reciprocity works wonders, right? They will be the ones who are going to be like talking to you, reaching out to you and asking you about your company, about what you're offering to your agents, and then trying to get on board with you. So this is a great way of, first and foremost, leading with value, meeting these agents in person, promoting your company to the agent community in your marketplace, and then ultimately, getting some of these agents into your organization.
Yeah, and if any of you guys are curious a little bit more about that, what the processes look like, we actually have a free event doc that me or someone from the team can send over to you. Just comment events below, and we will make sure to get that over to you. So that way you guys can kind of see the processes beforehand, setup, the post event. There's a lot of stuff that goes into play when you guys are actually hosting these events. So comment events below. We'll get that over to you. And you guys can have a better idea of what that looks like. But
yeah, and we do these events every single month, and we have our clients that do them every single month.
Yep.
We have clients that are doing them on a quarterly basis as well. I mean, we teach them from like A to Z when it comes to creating events, marketing events, getting the RSVPs, making sure they actually show up.
Yep.
Right, and then ultimately getting them on board.
Mm-hmm.
And then making those events in a way where they're expense neutral. So this way it's not really costing you like arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So we teach you that as well.
Yep. And again, this is one of the 3 pillars that, Alan teaches when it comes to recruiting. We have 2 other pillars too. I'd love to expand in those. We'll probably have to do that for another live stream. But if you guys are curious and you guys are ready, and, if you guys feel like you can really relate to what Alan explained in the phases of him growing, I'll attach a calendar below so you guys can speak with someone from our team, and see how we can help you get from point A to point B right now. Especially with everything going on, it's really important to make sure that you guys are getting there as fast as possible and overcoming any of those current problems as soon as possible. And the fastest way to do that is to go to someone that's already done it. And we're helping hundreds of brokerage owners right now, so we definitely can at least point you the right direction if you guys are looking to start hiring more agents, figure out the systems on the back end, the hiring, and all of that. So, but yeah, Alan, I mean, so overall, it sounds like when it comes to not necessarily mistakes, but more of like a mindset, is that really the main thing you would just say overall when it comes to scaling?
It's definitely starts with being committed in growing your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way we grow our business is not selling more real estate ourselves personally. The way we grow our business, when I say business, I'm talking about like a team or a brokerage, right?
Yeah.
We do this through people, we do this through systems, we do this through capital, right? So having that mindset, that commitment that you're going to grow your business by attracting and recruiting agents into your world. The second part we talked about is the courage, because you're going to go through a lot of adversity, right? A lot of self-doubt. There are going to be times when you're going to be like, okay, I made 2 steps forward, and then there's going to be like an event or two where you feel like now you're two steps backwards again, right? And you're going to feel like, man, I'm not really progressing. I'm not really growing. And again, like we all go through this. I go through this, trust me, on a daily basis, right? So it's normal. It's part of the journey. That's why I think the life of an entrepreneur or a business owner, you cannot measure this in 6 months or even like in 12 months or 2 years. It has to be like 5 to 10 years down the road. Like if you really want to build a good, solid business, a profitable business that will like, yield pretty good results for you financially, man, that's a 10-year business, right? So it's not like a year or 2 years. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of adversity to overcome to get there. And then the third thing is like, since we're on this topic, is really kind of like get really good at your skills. So for a brokerage owner, like you got to master, in presenting a compelling offer. Like what is your value proposition to the agent community? And I'm not just talking about the CRM. I'm not talking about the IDX website. Why should they work with you? Why should they align their business with your business, right? Because there are so many brokerages out there. Like in our state, we have over 25, 26, 2,700 brokerages. All right. There are brokerages in every single corner. Right. So there's a lot of competition, and agents, they can choose to go from this brokerage to this brokerage to this brokerage. Like there are agents literally been in business for 2 years, 2.5 years, and they switch brokerages like they switching their stocks. Right.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, we have to really become in good at presenting our value proposition. What makes us different? How do we stand out? Right. What will really resonate with the type of an agent that we're looking to attract? And by the way, we all have that in us. We all have the uniqueness. We all have something that we can offer to that agent. And that agent will say, you know what? I see it. I want to be part of this. Right. It doesn't have to be all the fancy widgets. It doesn't have to be all these high-tech tools and everything like that. There are agents out there that are craving much more than just regular tools or CRMs. They want to feel like they're part of something. They want to feel like they're part of the family. They want to feel like they belong. They want the leadership. They want the mentorship. They're looking for that support. They're looking for that accountability, right? They're looking for those things. And there are agents, plenty of agents, especially right now, they're looking for that. So come up or figure out what you're good at, what you offer to the Asian community, and just go after it and go after them.
Yeah, it's funny. I've never heard you say, "Oh, like when we're talking to the brokerage owners, you're never like, oh, you need a better CRM or you need to upgrade your tech." I feel like it's always deeper than that when it comes to like, really changing that value proposition and everything. So
yeah. And I'm not saying like don't have a CRM. I mean, but again, that's not something that you lead with. I guess just depending on your marketplace. If your marketplace where most of the brokerages do not offer CRM, then I guess you would lead with it. But it's got to be much more substance than that, much more than just a CRM, for example, right? And every brokerage owner has something that they can offer, and there are agents out there that are craving for something like that. You don't have to like bring on every single agent in your MLS board. Like just focus on the agents that you feel like are going to be the best fit for you and vice versa, and just roll with that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think covering all of this stuff too, so if you guys, everything that he talked about today, we're actually going to be having our BrokerCon Mastermind in-person event in Scottsdale, Arizona on April 25th and April 26th. So if you guys want to dive a little bit deeper into all of these specific topics he covered today, we're going to be covering everything into like every little detail when it comes to each of those topics. Like when it comes to creating your, compelling agent offer, to setting up these recruiting systems, the systems that's required on the back end, hiring teams. Alan, like he said, he has the mortgage, the title. He's going to be showing you the breakdown of that and what that process looks like as well. And all I'm saying is if you do want to come, lock in your tickets before Sunday. We still have the early bird tickets. It's only $197 for 2 days with us in person. There's going to be, other brokerage owners as well. We've already had a ton of people reach out to us, let us know that they've already got their tickets. So we're so excited. We also have a VIP dinner too. So if you go to the website and you check that out, we're going to be having an exclusive dinner with everyone who gets the VIP access. But if you get it after Sunday, it's going to be the same price. So $497 for VIP access right now, but the regular ticket's going to be $497 after Sunday. So Alan, anything you want to add on to about the BrokerCon? I think it's perfect to cover with everything you just basically said.
Aside from my birthday.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it's a very special day tomorrow. You want to share that? No, go ahead.
Good. No, go for it.
So should we tell them?
We'll give I think we should. Okay,
so tomorrow is a very, very special day. Make sure to mark it on your calendars. It is Alan's birthday. But seriously,
hold on a second. Make sure you mark your calendars.
It's Alan Kushmakov's birthday. No, but seriously, because
it's my birthday tomorrow, and we're celebrating.
We're actually gonna do something very special due to it being his birthday. I actually asked Alan what he wants for his birthday, and he said he wants to give something crazy away. So we're actually doing a giveaway. I'll give you guys a few hints. It has to do with the Westin Resort Golf Course for 2-day access in Scottsdale for the event. But any other detail you want to give them right now?
Dude, you're the king of giving things away. I mean, why don't you just share what we're going to be offering, right?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's going to go live tomorrow, but now they got the heads up. Might as well just share what we're offering.
Okay, so it's basically $3,000 worth of value.
No, it's $4,000.
$4,000 worth of value.
I don't like the word basically. It is a $4,000 worth of value, and much more than that.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
And can actually become like $400,000 worth of value.
Yeah.
When they attend our 2-day event, our mastermind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead?
Go for it. I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be 2 days VIP access. So like I said, the dinner is going to be included, just like I said with the other tickets. We're going to be giving away 2 tickets, and we went to the nicest resort for you guys to be able to stay at for those 2 days. The Westin full golf course. I don't know. Alan's maybe golfed on that course before. Have you gone golfing?
No, I'm not a golfer.
Okay. So beautiful golf course, beautiful location. It's just about a half a mile away from the venue where we're going to be actually hosting the BrokerCon mastermind. So you'll have 2 VIP tickets. We're going to give you guys 2 nights at the Westin, and it's going to be amazing. I mean, you're going to be able to fly out here, get access to everything for free, stay at a beautiful place, and it's really going to be a game changer for any brokerage owners who are looking for that extra help and really want to take their business to the next level right now. There's nothing that's going to beat it with, a nice place to stay, but ultimately being able to work one-on-one with Alan and other brokerage owners and really figure out what everybody's doing right now, and Alan covering everything that he's currently doing to take his business to the next level. So it's going to be on April 25th and April 26th, but the giveaway is going to be for the next 7 days. If that's okay, I want to do it for 7 days. So 7 days, we're going to be releasing it, and we'll have more instructions and details on it tomorrow, but be on the lookout for his post. He's going to have a video giveaway. You're going to have to give him a follow on Instagram. You just need to tag a brokerage owner, team leader, someone that you think would benefit from the BrokerCon, who you'd like to bring with you to attend, and like the post as well. And you will have a chance to win that 2-day stay and 2-day access to the VIP BrokerCon mastermind. But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's going to be very special.
Thank you, Tristan. That was a great pitch.
There we go.
So it's my birthday tomorrow, and we're going to be celebrating, and you guys are all going to get an email tomorrow with all the details about this giveaway. It's going to be great. It's going to be epic. You guys are gonna have so much fun. And like I said, like Tristan said, this is going to be focusing on, creating a profitable brokerage, as well as recruiting 4 to 5 agents a month. Right?
Absolutely.
That's right. Awesome.
We actually have some, we're going to have some guest speakers too, and we're going to be breaking down. We have a few bonus trainings and stuff that we're going to be rolling out there as well. So when you sign up, or if you get the 2-day giveaway, you'll get more details on all of that. So yeah, I mean, we're really excited. Anyone who's watching this, hope you got a few key takeaways when it comes to scaling, especially right now, if you're in that, 0 to 10, 10 to 20 agent mark. These are some of the key changes that Alan made when it came to mindset and systems and everything that helped him go from, 100 to 200 to hiring even 300 plus agents. So, anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Oh, you want to wrap this up?
You want to keep going? We can.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You tell me, man.
I think we covered.
You're in charge.
I think we covered everything today. So, I mean, yeah, make sure to be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you guys on the next MDB podcast.
Take care, guys. Happy birthday to me.